It's just the way it feels.
I'm a ding dong. my gym dog.
My gym dog.
I'm a gym dog.
Did you watch Shark Week?
I did.
Was it good?
Did you?
I did. Yes, it was very good.
Okay.
Have you not seen it?
No, I haven't seen it yet, so don't say anything. I just was interested if you liked it.
Can I tell you some gnarly footage that you'll see?
No. I want to see the gnarly footage in its purest form. I was like, hey, you want a spoiler?
Yeah, no. No, it totally was.
This is exciting.
Maddie, this is just an example of me gaslighting you. Welcome to the Room Tone Podcast.
We're in this shit.
We're about to get real douchey.
Welcome to psychological warfare among friends.
Yeah.
Speaking about psychological warfare, let's talk about the movie we're going to be reviewing.
Dun, 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 dun.
Scott Pilgrim versus the world.
Woohoo!
Directed by Edgar Wright.
Yeah, let me give a little synopsis. How about for the audience? This is not a great description, but I think it's kind of funny.
Okay.
So Google's description of the film Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which is what we will be reviewing, which came out in 2010. It's described as an action romance.
Sure.
Which, yeah, I suppose.
I say.
Totally is.
And like a comedy, though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The comedy is natural.
That's fair. So the description on Google is a bass guitarist, Scott Pilgrim, has never had trouble getting a girlfriend. Usually the problem is getting rid of them.
Haha.
But when Ramona Flowers skates into his heart, he finds she has the most troublesome baggage of all, an army of ex-boyfriends who will stop at nothing to eliminate him from her list of suitors. And it's directed by Edgar Wright and stars Michael Cera, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Brie Larson,
Aubrey Plaza,
Anna Kendrick, Chris Evans,
Kieran Culkin.
What's his name? Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah, the guy with the big nose.
Yeah, he's in it. I love him.
It's got a great cast.
It really does. And it's a movie we've talked about before on the show. I mean, we have always kind of quoted Edgar Wright as being an inspiration to the way that we want to shoot our film.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's known for these like crazy transitions and big, colorful sets and, you know, dramatic movements and just comedic, odd dialogue.
And in like a Wes Anderson-y way, like storytelling through visuals and like putting a lot of the story in backgrounds and not necessarily just dialogue between characters, but the entire environment of the movie.
Totally.
Yeah. Sets the tone right away.
Yeah, like sets it for what you're about to see, like isn't actually how it happened, but it's kind of just more fun to do it this way.
Right. And it's very loud and colorful and like cartoony.
Yeah. Should we talk about how we're going to review the movie?
Yeah, let's.
To help kind of structure our review, we broke it down into these 4 categories. Cinematography, asking questions like, how do the camera angles feel? How's the lighting and composition speak to you? Characters, questions like, are the characters believable? Are they entertaining? Are they compelling? Do we care about them? Story, questions like, do you care what happened? Is it overall engaging? Again, just something that does it pull you is what we're looking for. And then overall watchability. Can we sit down and say, did we enjoy that? Did we have a good time watching that? Did it make us think afterwards?
Or was that just like a good ass like popcorn movie? Like, I don't know about all that other shit, but I had a good ass time.
Yeah, was it just a fun thing to watch?
Right.
Yeah. If I don't think about it, I'm having a great time.
Yeah. True.
So we each have individual scores of 5 points for each category, combined together of a total of 60. Our overall points will come together and we will give it an official tone score.
Hell yeah.
It'll be something out of 60. So if it's good, it'll be high. If it's bad, it'll be low. I don't know what else to say about it, but there it is.
That works.
Get ready for the Room Tone Podcast, overly pretentious and probably biased review of a pretty good movie.
Hell yeah. Time to get toned.
Woo!
Oh, can we call like this like segment that we do?
Getting toned?
Not toned, tone deaf. That's our movie review. Is
Maybe
tone deaf.
that's if it's a bad movie, it's tone deaf.
Oh, if it
Like
gets
if it's less than 30 out of 60, it's tone deaf.
it gets a stamp of being tone deaf. We rule that movie tone deaf.
What would a high score be then?
Toned?
Toned?
Yeah.
Certified toned.
And
Or
Toes?
tone deaf or...
Who doesn't love toes, dude?
Yeah, okay. We're on to
doesn't
something.
love toes?
Are we recording?
Yes, we are.
Bat, 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 bat.
Yeah, we got Toes on the line. What's up, Toes? How does it feel to be wanted?
Can I smell you really quick?
I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
We should never have gone down this path.
Oh no! I was so glad I didn't have my headphones on for that.
Let's bring it back to Scott Pilgrim versus the world.
On Room Tone Podcast.
Pause for room tone.
Hi, my name is Austin Rampeza. I'm an amateur movie douche.
Boom.
And
Ooh, question. Unless you have like an intro you really want to do, should we maybe do like what we guess the score will be?
Oh.
Okay. I like that. My name's Austin Rampeza. I'm an amateur movie douche. And I think for Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the overall tone score is going to be 55.
Oh, out of 60.
Out of 60.
High
that's
praise.
Pretty toned.
Mm-hmm.
Bold, all right.
Toned and boned, my guys.
Oh, yeah. Just like Scott Pilgrim.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm Maddie, and my guess for our overall Scott Pilgrim room tone is gonna be 47 out of 60.
Oh.
Okay.
My name's Austin Swain, and my guess for the final tone score, I'm going to settle on down into 43.
Okay, so 43, 47, 55 out of 60. All right, interesting.
So we have high hopes for this movie, and
Yeah, some of us higher than others.
Hey, when you're high, you know?
You know what I mean?
You can't fight it, baby. You gotta keep on going.
I mean, well-placed high hopes. This is a phenomenal movie.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Rooted in video game and comic book tone and atmosphere.
Yes, sir.
So what's first on our list? What's the first category we're going to discuss?
So the first category is cinematography. Swain, do you want to give us a little definition of cinematography?
Yeah, I would say cinematography is just kind of the idea of like using the lighting, the way that you light a subject, the way that you display it, the camera angles and movements, just the way that you make the world look and how you kind of treat the screen that eventually is like the voice to the audience, how all of those things come together.
Mm-hmm. Right on, brother. Right on.
Right on.
So I guess let's talk about that. I would say off the bat, impeccable.
Yeah, I think it has great cinematography. I think, yeah.
Very well choreographed. And a lot of Edgar Wright's filmography.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, he's just got great presence with that, like just having those well-timed movements and visual jokes. He's a master of it.
Agreed.
It's just so fun and so like upbeat and so exactly what it's trying to be.
Totally.
Like you can't imagine Scott Pilgrim like being a different way than it is.
Quite.
Yeah,
Quite.
Well said. Jolly good.
Jolly good.
Yes, a good one right there. I feel like you can really see the time that he put into each shot.
Yeah.
Like nothing seemed like a mistake. Like everything in that shot was meant to be there for a specific reason. He had a specific vision, and I think he definitely executed it as close as he possibly could.
Yeah. And it does a really sweet mix of animation too, which I think it deserves a shout out for that, along with cinematography.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And they use it generously.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, where can we put animation? I want to cover this thing and just like make it fun, but still leave it like sparingly enough for you to be like, there it is again. Oh, there it is again. Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Completely.
Agreed. Quite. So, what would you guys give this out of 5 then?
For cinematography, for me,
Yeah.
out of 5, I mean, I think that this is one of my gold standards of how to take control over your camera and your environment. I would give this a 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5?
I would.
Swain, that was beautiful.
Shit, dog. You're going to make me blush.
Maddie, what say thee?
I think I would also give it a 5 out of 5.
You son of a gun.
Because, yeah, I think it's definitely my favorite Edgar Wright movie, cinematography-wise.
And
Valid.
I think I'm going to have to hop on that boat with you guys.
5 for 5 all
5
around.
for
Ding, ding, ding,
5.
ding, ding.
Starting out generously.
Starting out strong, guys.
Oh, yes.
And there's a reason we picked this movie first. I mean, I think it's just one that we all three generally agree on as being
Top tier.
Yeah.
indeed.
Should we move on to the next category?
Yes.
What is it, sir?
So here's the thing. Let me tell you guys right now. This is our douchey movie review. All right.
Mhm.
I'm gonna full on douche right now. All right. Let's get into it, guys. Let's get smooth and jazzy. Can we do that?
Yeah.
I'm feeling it.
I'm feeling it.
All right.
Yeah, I'm jazzy.
Hey, man, what's the next category going on?
The next category is characters. I guess we're wondering: are they compelling? Are they interesting? Do we want to care about them?
Are they well portrayed?
Are they well portrayed? I would say so. Again, I really enjoyed this movie. I think that I felt like each character had its role in the movie. Like no one felt out of place. No one felt like they didn't deserve to be there. I enjoyed everyone's story. I enjoyed how everyone interacted in the world. I would say they did really well.
Yeah.
For sure.
I totally see like what you mean when you said like the people who are there feel like they need to be there. I feel like it does so well at like separating like, all right, if you're in the shot, like you're in the fucking shot, like you're here to matter.
Yeah.
Or otherwise you're a background character or you're not here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like it makes the world feel so small because everyone there like plays such an important role.
Agreed.
I do think that there may be too many characters.
You son of a bitch.
But they all matter.
No, and see, that's the thing. I like all of the characters,
Yeah.
but I don't think there needs to be that many.
Yeah.
I don't think that enough of them like drive like anything forward enough to
Okay.
like matter.
Okay.
But yeah, I wouldn't take people out if I didn't have to, but
Yeah.
I could see how people could go if they needed to.
I get that.
Who's
I get
like,
that.
do you have like one person that comes to mind as far as like, we could write them out?
Like the Batgirls,
Oh, like the Hex Girls?
That's fair.
like the dancers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like the Hex Girls.
Like the Bat dancing girls.
Yeah.
Do they come back into the story?
They do not.
No.
They literally die.
Yeah.
And that is their role in the movie, is to die.
When do they die?
They die right
Right
away.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just like
so goddamn fast.
yeah.
Well, I don't remember that, I guess.
See, so fast enough that
Yeah.
you don't remember.
Don't
So
need
it's
them.
like, why did we even have to? I don't know. It kind of felt like I could see how it could be too many characters.
I see what you're saying. I hate it, but I see.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I'm playing. No, I definitely see what you're saying, and I agree that there is. It does feel like a lot.
The movie is so fast and loose
Mm-hmm.
that like I could understand it being called messy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot,
Yeah.
but if you're ready for that and like that fuels you, it's a lot of fun.
right.
But it is a lot.
Agreed.
But I would say like the characters just in general of like likability, things like that. Like I feel like I understand what a lot of the characters like are up to. Like I know them. I feel like the casting for like the core is spot on. Like I can't imagine it being casted better.
Mm.
I'm gonna say 3 out of 5
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay. It stings a little bit, but all right.
because I'm gonna try to be really. I can't
Be
because-
honest.
I'm gonna try to be
You
really
gotta.
stingy because
Yeah.
otherwise, like,
What's the point?
yeah, there's too much range between 4 and 5.
I get that.
Like,
I get that. Disagree. I get that. I'm playing, dude.
I know.
All right, Swain. What says thee?
I agree with both of you.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like every character plays their role, but yeah, like there's also kind of Like it's a lot of story with like a lot of drivers.
Yeah.
I would also say that I have a hard time liking Scott for a lot of the movie.
He's kind of scum.
Mm-hmm.
Yup. Which is hard to do with a protagonist. Although he kills it and he's fun to watch. He's like, you love to hate him.
And Ramona's kind of the same way. Like,
Yeah.
she's kind of a bitch.
Totally. Like I definitely find myself like, I don't really care what happens to these people. Like they're all kind of fuck arounds.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I enjoy their misfortune.
but I think I will have to agree with you and give it a 3 as well.
You son of a bitch.
Get fucked, Austin.
No, but you know what?
This is not adversarial.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it totally is.
Shut up, Austin.
You little bitch. No, I'm playing. So I will say you guys do give really good points. I was initially thinking 5, but again, very solid points. I think I'm going to give it a 4.
And I respect that.
Respectable. It's a big
still,
4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big 4.
4 is pretty good.
So what say ye is the next... Oh, I'm not going to do that. So what's the next...
I will say you sound like... Fuck, I don't remember his name. But he's from the IT crowd? The IT crowd?
Oh, God.
Do it again. Do that again.
Now I'm going to try to do him, and I shouldn't. So what say ye is the next category for our conversation?
That does sound like the IT guy.
Yeah,
What would you like to talk about?
What's his name?
I don't remember
Richard or
the man's
something?
name.
Is his name Richard? Is it Richard?
Yeah, Richard
Yeah?
Iote.
Oh my God, look at me.
What's next?
So the next category is a story.
Mwahaha.
So I guess just like the overall story, like we said before, it's about our protagonist Scott meeting a woman who he needs to fight her 7 evil ex-boyfriends in order to date her. Almost kind of a coming of age story.
Yeah.
And coming to fist.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone grows in the end. But yes, Scott Pilgrim versus the world.
It's a very unique story.
It is. It's told in a very unique way as well.
Completely.
Yeah, I read the comics as a kid.
Really?
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed them. I might be biased because I really enjoyed the comics.
I liked the video game a lot.
The video game was also very good.
Mm-hmm.
And I've only consumed the movie like a true douche.
Mhm. I can smell you over here, bud.
Thank
you.
Yeah, but how is the narrative shown?
Mhm.
How is it easy to follow? Is it too complicated? Is it too slow? Is it too fast? Do you feel like you get enough out of it? Like,
yeah.
I will say it may be a little bit complicated.
mhm.
Yeah.
But, and by a little bit complicated, I mean like you probably need to watch it twice and you're like, okay, I see what's happening. I'm
Right.
having a good time.
I didn't like it the first time I watched it.
Which is valid.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Which is valid. I enjoyed it the first time I watched it. I think I told you guys this, but I'm like really happy to have found you guys because I feel like you guys are like my people.
Yeah.
So I remember when I first watched it, I watched it with my friend back when I was in like middle school or high school or whatever. And like, I loved that shit. That was such a cool movie in my mind. And I looked at my friend, he was like, that was stupid. That was dumb as fuck. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. Haha.
What a bitch.
Damn, homie.
But I'm like, no, dude, that's fucking dope. That's a good time.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy.
We are your people.
Yeah.
And you're our people.
Oh.
And we are all people.
Oh ho.
Philosophy.
Oh,
So yeah, I mean, I think the story isn't like too fast necessarily. I think maybe they just like assume the audience will follow along
Right.
and don't really spend extra time explaining things.
Which is fair. I mean, like you
Yeah.
said, by the time you watch it, like even if you need a second time watching it, you're like, okay, yeah, like I get it.
Yeah.
Like it's
Right.
not
It's not complicated.
It's not complicated. There's just like a lot of it's portrayed as having a lot of moving pieces.
because there's a lot of characters.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I can see that. But yeah, a very unique story, very uniquely told. I've been thinking recently, here comes Austin the nerd, about the concept of high fantasy versus low fantasy. Do you guys know what the difference is? Because I recently wondered.
High fantasy is like dragons and medieval shit, right? Or just like anything like super like outside of our world.
That's a really interesting way to think about it. that high fantasy is like something outside of our world. So what would low fantasy be?
Something in our world, but different.
Yeah, pretty much. Like the idea that it's happening in our, like something magical, mystical is happening in like this world. So people are like surprised about it. Like, oh, what? There's not, dragons aren't real.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that kind of a thing. And like Scott Pilgrim like kind of dances that line. Like so. Like,
yeah, like they're basically like super powered people.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
Yeah, totally.
Because they get all anime and like fly through the air and make things explode. And like half of the people in the crowd are like, oh my God, what's going on?
And the other half of the people are like, yeah,
they're having anime fight. What the fuck?
What do you mean?
Dude. Yeah. She pulls out her gravity hammer.
Fuck yeah.
Dope shit.
Yeah.
Which I love that they kind of make that dance between like, is this real? Is this weird? Like, what's going on? We don't know.
That's a really good point.
I also really enjoyed that. And like, that's essentially what it is. Even like the manga, I believe it's a manga, or maybe it's a comic book. It danced that line of like, is this actually happening? Or it's like Scott just kind of in his like little world.
Cool.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
And like, it's a good time. It's a good time. Yeah.
I love that.
Highly recommend.
Like I said, I haven't read the comics, but like it's cool that they portrayed that aspect of it.
Agreed.
Neat.
I think something that's interesting about the story element, and not necessarily the story, this is kind of like a weird story element, but that a lot of the dialogue is based around like the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think is really cool. And like it really connects, like, you know, the soundtrack as well as you know the movie in most cases. So it's like it does a really good job of making like a complete universe of this like genre.
Yeah, totally agree. I feel like this was a real precursor of like Baby Driver.
Yeah.
Edgar Wright's later movie that is based almost entirely around the soundtrack. And yeah, I mean, this was definitely a taste of him.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I tasted.
Taste a baby.
Tastes good, Eddie. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you Eddie. I don't know what happened.
Me?
No, Mr. Edgar.
Oh. Eddie.
I'm sorry, Edgar Wright. I don't know if we're on those terms yet.
That's fair.
I think you guys are.
But on another hand, too, like for the story, I feel like the first couple times I watched through it, like I never really cared what was going to happen. Like I was like, yay, like yeah, like why am I rooting for Scott? Like I kind of hate Scott.
Yeah.
Like it's fun to see happen, but I'm like, whatever happens, like I'm cool with it. So I feel like I wonder if that's an aspect of story that would kind of impact my score.
Yeah.
So then what would you give your score?
Oh gosh.
3.
Maddie.
I'm trying to be really stingy.
No.
I like it.
I feel it.
Otherwise, everything's going to be 5 out of 5, I feel like.
That's valid. I get it. 3. Why 3?
Because it's not my favorite story.
I get that.
Like,
No, I get
it
that.
has enough in it that, like, it wouldn't have survived on story alone. If the rest of the movie wasn't as awesome as it is, the story might not have survived. Like, Scott Pilgrim exists as a piece, not just a story element. So, whereas I think that its cinematography could have gone on anything and made it better, you know?
I get what you're saying.
So,
that's
what I'm saying, 3.
I get what you're saying.
And I agree, I also don't really care about any of the characters. And there's,
Damn. Yeah.
We're like heartbroken.
Scott Pilgrim, I don't mean to do this to you, but we're here to be real, man.
This is funny considering that it's like the movie that I said I would watch forever if I could only have one movie.
Yeah.
See, so.
But who needs story when you're watching it forever?
Exactly.
And I mean, yeah, I think I agree. Like, I don't even know like if there is really a story. It's kind of just like a guy tries to figure out shit as he also tries to juggle 2 girlfriends.
I feel like that is a story.
Yeah, isn't that a story?
Kinda.
You just said a story, bud.
I mean, where's the beginning, middle, and end? Okay,
yeah,
I guess I said
it is kind
premise.
of a lot of like bouncing back and forth. Like it's a lot of like, oh, will she, won't she? Like, oh, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh my god, just leave him. Leave him, Ramona.
You're too good, baby.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like I enjoy everything else about it so much that I feel like I don't need the story, but thinking about it critically now, I don't know if I need the story. So I'm going to give it a 2.
Dirty son of a bitch. Okay.
I was gonna. So if we did a
controversial,
getting a little spicy, and I'm sorry to do it,
That's
but like
okay,
I don't
dude.
know. I don't know if I
respect
see it. You know.
I respect it, dude.
what is your score?
Well, I'm going to give it again a 4.
Okay.
Reason why I give it a 4 is because like all this time, I think I've watched it at least once a year.
Hell yes.
And the fact that like a movie can do that for me, where I watch something annually,
Yeah,
is cool. It's
Yeah,
a cool thing.
totally.
that's fair.
And so I do feel engaged with the story. I do feel like there are like various lessons that each character learns, and I feel fulfilled at the end. So
Hell yeah.
I give it a 4.
I like that.
And a 4 is a very good score. Like a 5 story is gonna have to be a good ass story.
It really is. I agree. I mean, story's hard,
Yeah.
and you don't always need like a crazy story.
Mhm.
But yeah, a 5-level story is going to be something.
Yeah. It's valid.
I like it.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the watchability. Is it a fun time? Like, do you enjoy watching it?
Yeah, I do. I mean, of course, like I just said, like I watch it annually, so I think
Yeah, it has good rewatchability too.
Yeah,
Like I feel
fuck
like
yeah.
you can always pick up on something new when you watch it.
Yeah, I mean, that's
And it's fun. It doesn't take itself seriously.
yeah.
So
not
it's
a,
enjoyable.
yeah,
There's
not
a
at all.
P-bar.
And I think it accomplishes being like a very good movie that's also a popcorn movie.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's I agree.
Like it's very well done and it's a popcorn movie.
I don't know if there is a more fun movie. Like genuinely, this just has a great time from start to finish.
Yeah.
This movie ranks very high in just general watchability for me. Like it's such a good time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I agree, obviously.
Yeah.
So what would you guys score it? I'll start with you, Maddie.
I'd say 5.
5.
I think it's got ultimate rewatchability.
that makes
100%. I mean, there's so
Especially considering that I would put it on to watch it forever. If
Yeah.
that's my last movie on Earth.
sense.
that's
True.
watchability, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, 100% a 5 for me too.
5 or
It's another one. I would put it up there with Into the Spider-Verse, which I just talked about on an earlier episode as just being a visual feast.
I give it a 2.
Yeah.
I knew it, you
Fuck
bitch.
that movie.
Yeah, I knew it.
No, I also give it a 5. I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
Hell yeah. All right, you want to give me the numbers? I'll add them up for our final score.
I think I got it.
Nice.
We are at
Wait. What did we score? So what did we score in each category? Just like run us down the numbers.
So for cinematography, we gave it a solid 15.
Okay, hell yeah.
Nice.
For characters, we have a 12.
And these are all out of 15?
Yep.
Okay.
Story is our lowest one, was a 9.
Ooh.
Yeah. But watchability brought us back up to 15.
Big old 15.
So 15 is 30. 30 plus 12 is 42. 42 plus 9 is 51.
Dang.
51
all right.
out of 60. That is certifiably toned.
So right between where you and I thought they were going to be.
Mhm.
You smart cookies. Yeah.
Nice. So that's an excellent score.
Yeah.
100%.
Obviously, we very much like this movie and would recommend it.
For a fantastic movie. If you haven't been completely spoiled yet and you haven't seen it,
Watch it.
watch
Just watch
it. Do it.
Let's officially call this movie Toned.
Oh, yeah. I'm toned. We hope you enjoy this format of movie reviews. If you have a movie that you'd like to hear our opinions on, find us on Instagram, find us on Facebook. You'll be seeing posts about this these mini episodes and this new format that we're doing. So comment some ideas and movies that you have in mind.
Yeah, and we don't have to like them all either. Like, send us ones that we don't like to watch us argue.
Yeah.
Or ones that one of us likes, but the other two don't.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's get feisty, y'all.
Yeah.
See if you can bait the waters. Bring in something divisive.
Which
Bloody
you
the
already
water,
had a taste
y'all.
of that with this, with your twos and your.
That
your threes.
but it
You
could
sons
get
of
so
bitch.
much worse.
Oh my god, it could.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so do
Okay.
that,
Yeah,
bitches.
challenge accepted. Let's turn up the heat.
Let's turn up the E and pause for room tone.